demands that you are making today is that there needs to be an acknowledgement of what happened so many years ago, that there was ethnic cleansing that took place, and that perhaps, there needs to be more to be done to acknowledge that. What, according to you, must the government now do going forward?
The picture you're flashing on your screen of Bitta Karate is a garlanded murderer who was released on bail. Released on bail by the judge, saying that I know this man is guilty of heinous crimes that deserve life imprisonment, even death sentence, but I am forced to release him on bail because the government, the prosecution, is not interested in pursuing the case. He said so in writing in his bail order. So what I'm saying is that Bitta Karate is just a cog in the wheel. He is just one of the hundreds of murderers. There was a network of jihad, and he was carrying out orders. And then there was my state, Indian state, the politics of it, the bureaucracy, the prosecution, the police, the media, the academia, who supported it and who gave him an unwritten clemency. Today, if he's in custody, it is for a white-collar crime. It is about money laundering, not for murders. He admitted to 20 murders, and he said, I stopped counting after that. And this garland is his welcome back by the community. This is what we are facing, not a stray murder. It was not just Satish Tikku who was murdered and Bitta Karate who murdered. The entire community was cleansed. Thousands of heinous crimes took place. We were terrorized and we were massacred. Therefore, our demand is that a genocide be recognized formally, officially, and a tribunal be established to try these murderers and their network of patrons, their command and control structure. This cannot be treated as a peacetime ordinary crime. I am repeating it ad nauseum because we've been asking for it for decades, and this voice falls on deaf ears. It needs to be told loud and clear repeatedly till it is accepted that what we suffered was not just a murder or a rape or an abduction, it was a genocide of Hindus in Kashmir Valley. Please recognize it as a genocide because it meets all the definitions on UN Convention on Genocide 1948. Number two, bring all the culprits to justice. The kingpin of this genocidal enterprise died comfortably in his bed at the age of 94.
Absolutely.
It was a shame.
Absolutely, Mr. Pandit, as you're pointing out, obviously there is a lot to answer for from politicians who are in power, from those who were in power earlier. I'm going to come back to you, but let's listen in to another reaction that we are getting on this trial.
वही आदमी है जो खुद टीवी पे डिबेट्स में कन्फेशन कर रहा है कि मैंने 30 से ज्यादा पंडितों को मार डाला है, और खुद वो बड़े फख्र के साथ कह रहा है। आज जब हर तरफ एक आवाज सी उठ गई है कश्मीर फाइल्स के बाद कि पंडितों को इंसाफ मिलना चाहिए, व्हाइट पेपर आना चाहिए, उनका जो नरसंहार हुआ है, जिस तरह से उनका कत्ल आम हुआ है, उनके पीछे किसका हाथ है? उसमें सबसे बड़ा हाथ है वो बिट्टा कराटे और उसका आका जो यासीन मलिक है, उनका हाथ है। आज जो कोर्ट में इस हेयरिंग हुई है, मैं समझता हूं अगर आप इस्लामी लॉ के हिसाब से भी देखेंगे तो कत्ल का बदला कत्ल ही होता है, और बिट्टा कराटे बदकिस्मती से अभी तक जिंदा है। कानून को भी इस बात को सोचना चाहिए। अब जिसने खुद इकरार किया है पब्लिक डिबेट्स में, यहाँ फख्र के साथ कह रहा है, उसके साथ क्या सलूक करना चाहिए, और जो इंसाफ देर से मिले वो इंसाफ के बराबर नहीं। अब वक्त आ चुका है कि पीड़ितों के साथ इंसाफ किया, जो उसने कत्ल किया है, उनका जो शहीद हुए, जो मार डाल गए, उनके साथ इंसाफ दिया जाए और जल्द से जल्द हेयरिंग को कंप्लीट किया, और बिट्टा कराटे को जो कानून के मुताबिक सजा होनी चाहिए वो मिलनी चाहिए।
Now, Mr. Pandit, if I could come back to you, there is a long-standing demand of Kashmiri Pandits that this be acknowledged as genocide. Now, apart from that, do you feel that the government perhaps also needs to do more in terms of bringing back the Kashmiri Pandits to the valley? Because there have been several attempts made, but most of them have not been very fruitful.
Yes, there is a reason. Because all this while, there was some kind of a haste to push us back into the valley, the same valley which is in worse condition than what it was when we had to leave it. It is heartless, it is mindless to push us back in a valley where we are sitting ducks and hostages to the same killing machine that drove us out. Just because people keep asking you, what have you done for Kashmiri Pandits? You want to hastily push us back, herd us back like cattle to be slaughtered again. And which is why we keep insisting that first things first. First, acknowledge what happened to us was a genocide. 2, try these genociders, punish them. When you push us back in the valley, you are actually asking us to live by the same neighbors who slaughtered us. We are not in a hurry to get slaughtered by the same neighbors in the same neighborhood. Let this be clear.
Yes.
It has to be first acknowledgement of what happened to us was a genocide. Number 2, please deliver justice to the victims and survivors by hanging these bloodthirsty monsters. Unless these 2 conditions are met, there can be no return. How can you expect us to live by the same murderers all over again when they're roaming free and gloating over our genocide?
Right. So, Mr. Pandit, what you're saying is that the conditions have been created yet for people to return to the valley, for displaced Kashmiri Pandits to even visit back. And I'm going to come back to you in just a bit. For the moment, thank you for joining us, but do stay with us.
Broke out on Monday in the Ghazipur landfill still continues to bother a lot of citizens who are residing in the nearby